This is episode 18 of Bars and Threadz, featuring Paris, a hip hop head, Jhob 360, hip hop historian on point, to lyricism, to fashion and sneakers to no end. We're going with episode 18, Threadz news. Of course, we gotta talk about the Threadz because that's been a minute. It seems like this is only about bars. Now I got Threadz for this one, but we also had some news and more hip hop news. But right now we're gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna start off by saying this. A lot of people need to stop being invited to the cookout. Before I get into Jack Sparrow, Jack Black, Jack Ass, however you want to put it, Jack Harlow, you are not black, sir. I'm going to pack you up right now on my Will Mill voice. You are not black, sir. So your music isn't getting blacker. You are not getting blacker. I don't even know where you would even think in your mind to say, I got blacker, you know. I don't know. I think I should address you, but no matter how black you think you are, privilege outclasses our struggle, and your music isn't moving hip hop in a better direction. I mean that. I mean that's a solidified statement. Jack Harlow, I just feel like, and I'm talking to you, Jack Harlow. This is one of those, you know. You're repeating the trash is what you're doing, you know, and I don't care who don't like it. You sound like Drake, a copycat of Drake, you know, like we need another one of those. Drake gets no airplay in my ride, and you don't either. Before I even get to any racist or say something on my class, please like, subscribe, and comment. That's very important right now because you know I'm gonna get into this one. They make places for people with your identity crisis. There's plenty of them in the suburb near you. You need to find one quickly where there's somebody in there who feels like that your plight and when your struggle supposed to be is the same as ours, knowing that that's not a fact. You can love the music, but as far as you, sir, getting blacker, you diabolically out your fucking mind. And this is one of them podcasts. Yeah, I'm going to really rip this one. I got a few things I need to get off my chest with here. Hip-hop is an everyone music. That's true. You know, but come as you are. Don't depict what you feel like is braggadocious about music. And what you think that music is based onto the particular artist that you listen to. So it doesn't matter what neo soul you climb. You ain't climbing in my car with none of that fuck shit. Real talk. It's been needed to be said about a lot of artists. And yeah, these episodes are going to get real interesting because I'm really going to speak my opinion. But this is just the music part. And I hate to do this because it's supposed to be about fashion. But let's go. Now, what you want to change about what you were born? Black and rich is one thing, you know what I mean? Black and poor is another. You know, the braggadocious part is the artist that you listen to, fam. I mean, not. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even say fam. You're not even. Why would I even think that? I'm sorry. Let me retract that statement and go back to and I never retract, but I had to retract that because I made a mistake. I didn't think before I said something. That's a great segue, because you ain't getting blacker, pal. But anyway, to keep it moving, I don't want to end this 4 minutes on this 4+ minutes on a bad note and come at this man because of he made an illegitimate statement about the culture or anything else. I'm not the culture police, but my whole thing is it's a place for people like you. Find your lane and stay in that lane or whatever, but don't cross into a lane or say something that is inexplicably ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who your black friends are and your yes men from suburban America somewhere. I don't know who these black people are around you, but if they are around you and have allowed you to say what you have said, pack them up too, with my Will Mill voice. Pack them motherfuckers up too. Get them the fuck out of here too. You know what I mean? Why not? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of you who hide behind things. You know what I'm saying? You ain't from, if you ain't really from it, you ain't really from it. So just be you in the music. Tribe Called Quest was them. I can name thousands of groups that were them. And they didn't have to be what you're claiming our music is. You know what I'm saying? And why are y'all talking about our music anyway? Let me continue on. Next topic. We're going to get right into it. I just want to start. I wanted to get that off my chest. Sorry about that 5-minute dissertation of bullshit. Really, it's how I feel because it's actually honest. But next topic, we're going to get right into, what do y'all feel about the Pelly Pel and Avarex coming out? The Pelly Pels and Avarex came out. I'm bringing these up first to bring up a point about nostalgia. I want to say this. Did I run out and get either? No, I did not. Hell no. Because I had those coats in the earlier stage in life. And they are no different from then till now. Maybe a few designs, you know. I'm happy they came with more for the resurgence. I believe I trashed mine from back then. I think I actually threw mine in the trash because the quality was like trash to me. It started cracking on you because you know it ain't real level. But not to hate on either brand or whatever. The trend went out real quick when it was around. You know, we had the big ones though. Y'all got the little ones. And, you know what I mean? Some of them joints look all right. I mean, I have to give it to them. They actually do look nice. You know what I'm saying? So I can't hate on either Avarex or Pelly Pel. That is a good movement. And my man, the dude Fox to make the NBA joints, they nice too, but that's just not my class at this point in my life. But I think that for me to bring it up, it's just throwing it out. Jeff Davis, that's his name. For me to throw it up and bring it out there, I'm just telling you that those jackets are really trendy right now. A lot of people are really grabbing onto that, so I'm bringing that up for that reason. But we are currently going into spring, winter, spring. I think I don't know. If you know, you know. Check me out. Hopefully, it can like actually hold up. Like these coats that they're bringing back from back then can hold up and still hold their ground. But I just believe that that's just another trend. I wanted to bring up Off-White appearing in Costco because I think a lot of people have been talking about this and everything else. I'm a Virgil Abloh fan. I love his art. I love everything that he did with the clothes and with the shoes. Virgil, you was my man. No, 100 grand. You know, rest in peace. But I want to address the Off-White Jordan 1 sneakers also, especially the VAA, Virgil Abloh Archive. And I just want to let the people know that the Virgil Abloh Archive, that actually goes to his family. His family gets that money. But don't be surprised if I tell you I'm not supporting Off-White unless I know his family is getting the money. These joints is Costco. Art designs from Virgil. Them joints in Costco's, the hoodies or whatever they throwing out there, whatever, is not from Virgil. I don't think that Virgil made a cheeseburger from McDonald's type of outfit, you know, sweater or whatever, hoodie or whatever, you know, to put in Costco. And I don't know how I would feel buying designer from Costco. Like, what the? I don't know. So to each his own, you know. I mean, just me. I'm just going with my preference or whatever. You know, maybe that's a good or bad preference, but I'm just looking at it like that. I believe that, you know, if it's not going to his family and it's being really pushed out on a level what I feel like is not, you know, family oriented, is into this new stuff that came out. The kids wear it or whatever. I see a lot of YNs wearing it or whatever, but it's just not my type of Off-White. I do have Off-White dunks. I got a few Off-White things here and there, but Off-White and Nike, but I'm just not a fan of what they're doing with my man. And I can see it though, because the decline of it, whenever I go on like a Saks page or I go on certain pages like Nordstrom's or one of those pages or whatever, and I go on there and Off-White is constantly discounted. I don't think that I'm just seeing things or I'm making up things, but it's heavily discounted, especially like after like season 3, and that's three. That's close to like the winter around November, December. Yeah, around like October, November, December. That's around that time, and I noticed that it gets heavily discounted. So it was one of those brands that I just felt like without him wasn't holding its stability. But it didn't come as a surprise that they were in there because they were actually, their prices were really getting real bad. Like, I mean, Heron Preston went through something too. I'm glad Heron Preston got his company back. Shout out to Heron Preston. I wore their episodes earlier, but that's my man right there. Black designers, black high-end designers. Shout out to you. I watched the decline of several brands, but we are talking about Off-White in this episode. Virgil's passing is not saying to help going to the brand's next level that is built from process of ideas and until invention. That was Virgil's process. That has changed to a mass production brand. Like, who wants to? I don't want cheeseburger or white hoodies. If it's VAA, his family receives the proceeds. I will not be buying any more of it. And I'm skipping the Alaska Air Force Ones, Jordan 1s. They have actually fizzled out a few years ago. I don't know. I don't wear Jordan 1s. I might wear some Dunks, but I'm older, so I'm not a Jordan 1 fan at this point because I just feel like they have been overly done. You know what I mean? Too many remixes. You know what I mean? Next time, shout out to Grand Poobah because everything from rugbies to, and I really like this part of this episode because I really want to give a big shout out to Grand Poobah because at this point in life, I still dress like Grand Poobah. And everything from rugbies to making backpacks fly before Kanye, I would say he's a big influencer than Virgil. That's a heavy statement to make, but I had to segue right into what I felt because I felt like Virgil, I felt like Kanye, I felt like all of them took from Grand Poobah. He took precedent with the new fashion designs, just like the new companies that's coming out now that's repeating the style, like Amy Leon Dior, which has become one of my favorite new brands. Definitely got a lot of their flavor from Grand Poobah. You know what I mean? They got a lot of flavor from him. He's the first fashion rapper to me. And he kind of like patterned the style that me and my friends wore and everything else. And I got probably a couple friends watching this being like, yeah, he's right. That's true. And I mean, I just have to give him his credit because I never feel like that he ever received the credit that he was due for, bringing out the fashion looks that we actually see today. That's Grand Poobah. And I dress like that now. But before we segue into what's next, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment in the Bars and Threadz community. This is the thread part. We are not doing any bars right now. Let's get right down to it. I said this a while ago about the Air Max 95. That was really quick. It's taking over neon and other colors. I've talked about this last year. Even though, I'm going to say this, I did not grab the neon one. I have friends that have them. I copped probably three pair of 95s last year. I'm not going to go into the ones I copped. You'll see that later on in life, hopefully. But I am anti-Nike sneakers this year. So I copped a lot of those last year. So those are sneakers that I will possibly be wearing and getting my miles off in some Nike sneakers because I am not buying Nike sneakers this year. And I know a lot of people are like, well, what level you headed to? I'm headed on different levels. I want to make it more of a grail year, and I just don't think that the Nike drills because I just feel like we'll get into that. Let me jump right into this. Supreme is still killing it. I just wanted to say that, especially the Spider-Man Vancing collab. I have to give it to you. That shit is chef kiss. You know what I mean? It's great. Shout out. I wanted to give another shout out to a rapper who was not Fabulous, not Jim Jones, not all of them, not the people that you usually see and put it on. I want to give a shout out to Westside Gun who came out with those new Sauconys. The reason why I want to give you a shout out, Westside, is because number one, you came out with a soundtrack for the shoes. 3 songs. I mean, I got to give it to you. That was dope. That was a dope. Way to bring them out. You know what I mean? That was a great way to bring them out. That man stays on top of his fashion, by the way. If you have slept on Westside Gun, you was just sleeping on him because he's something else. I had to segue into the bigger brands again. Shout out to Ralph Lauren, who has always holding it down for decades. If you have a clothing brand and want to be mentioned on this show, send me photos of your spring line and your spring line of clothing, and I will definitely put it in my mentions. All clothing must be physically already made to go. No disrespect to anybody who does this with their clothing lines. I mean, great ideas is great ideas. It has to be physically ready to go. That means that I want to see you with it in your hand. I don't want to see not knocking nobody's hustle, AI generated clothing brand that you gotta make moves that are gonna slow down the product. If it's in your hand, let me holler at me. So, and I will mention it on any Threadz show that I do. I will be mentioning it. Okay. Not to mention, this might not be talk you want to hear, but I would not do the Nike remixes. I want to get back to that, segue back to that real quick. If you're a mannequin dresser and you see it on the internet or you see it in the store at Finish Line or whatever, and you got to grab that sneaker off of them because you're a mannequin dresser. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody go get the Air Max with the Air Max shirt to match. If that's your lane, that's your lane. You know what I'm saying? Nobody hating on that. I would never hate on that, right? My whole thing is that when I feel like the shoe has been remixed 2 to 3 many times, like a Nike company would do. And that's why I'm anti-Nike sneakers for 2026. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy them next year, but I'm just saying this year. And I'm not really going to go back to retro Jordans. I've had every retro Jordan since the time Jordan even created Jordans when they first came out. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not, I'm at an age now where it's almost like I don't need gamers. I've had them before, I mean, I had probably the first ones, or, so what's the point? What am I keep on buying or rebuying the shoes for? And these shoes are only good for 5 to 7 years before they start crumbling or falling apart. And it doesn't matter how much you wear them. I have too many shoes that I can't wear to try to keep wearing the same shoe and over again. So I had to rotate my shoes out to wear all my shoes. But in all honesty, Nike product is trash. And that's where I'm coming from with it. Some of your clothing line is this bottom basic at most. And I buy a lot of it and just to match the shoes or just to coordinate or whatever, but I am over that movement. So I've stepped into other lanes and other companies. And I'll release those names once I get a lot of those photos into the book and get these companies into the book. But I just wanted to bring that out to everybody. The Hip Hop Quotable for this particular podcast, episode 18, will be Culture by Locksmith featuring Styles P. I'm going both verses on this one. I think that I've already put it up before. I don't know if I put it up before. I think I will be putting it up, and I will actually try to, you know what I'm saying, or I might just put the song on saying that this is coming out. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm all over the place with it. But I just want to let y'all know I am not going to not do these podcasts. I just needed some ammunition. Jack Harlow gave it to me. The Costco Off-White was giving it to me. So I had a lot of vibes going on. I got some more notes going on also. So I might do a song next. I don't think so. I don't know. It all depends on what content that really flies through the door. I'm really trying to get to that episode 20, which is that Fundamental Facts Friday. But I have a few more. I got one more chapter to, one more episode to go, and then I'm right back to it. So I just want to let you know this is Bars and Threadz. This is Jhob 360, a hip hop head, and I'm